Hello everyone, welcome back to Praveen Online Academy. Today we are going to discuss the chapter regarding motion, that is class 9 chapter 2, that is motion chapter. In the chapter we are going to discuss detail regarding the motion. What is motion and what motion we are classified into categories: uniform motion, non-uniform motion. In the chapter we are going to discuss regarding the distance. What is distance and what is displacement? What is velocity? What is acceleration and what is retardation? Everything we are going to discuss in the chapter. First, our chapter name is motion. Simply, what is meant by motion? Simply, motion means movement. Motion means movement. Simply changing the position of an object from one place to another place with respect to the time and as well as the surroundings. For example, I am moving from this position to this position. Means with respect from 1 second my position was changed from that side to this position. Simply with respect to the time the position was changing and along the time as well as surrounding, it is known as motion. Simply given the box, a boy is pulling the box, so after 5 seconds the box was shifted from position here to here with respect to the time and as well as the surroundings. It is known as motion. If the body or if the object remains at same distance with a time interval, changing in time interval, then the body is said to be rest. Simply, the body is unable to moving, the body is able to remain in the same position with respect to the time, is known as stationary or rest position. Simply here the boy is able to moving the box. Next, motion where depends upon the speed, velocity and acceleration. So in the chapter we are going to discuss what is speed, what is velocity and what is acceleration. Motion depends, majorly motion will depends upon the speed, velocity and acceleration. So motion where of fast and slow motion. It is easy to observe the fast moving object. For example, if the car is traveling on the road with a 60 km per hour, we can see the car is able to moving. By seeing 1 second, we can judge the car is in the form of motion. Next, it is difficult to observe the motion of slow moving object. For example, look at the clock. The second mole is able to moving very slowly. So if we want to observe the clock hand second mole is able in the form of rest or motion, we have to observe for 5 to 10 seconds. Then only we can decide that the clock is able to moving slowly. Next, path of the motion. Motion can be in the form of straight line. So the object which is able to move in a straight line. And next, along this circular path, motion may be in the form of circular path, and motion may be in the form of rotatory motion. At one fixed position, the body is able to rotating. That is known as rotatory motion and vibratory motion. Combination of all this. A motion can be in a single motion. It can be a straight line, circulatory, vibratory, and everything. Next, straight lines. So simply, what you given? Look at this image. The car is able to moving along the road. The motion of an object along a straight line is called as a rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion means the body or object which is able to moving in a straight line. Look here, the car is able to moving in a straight road. It is known as rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion means the body or object is able to travel in a straight path, straight given path is known as rectilinear motion. Next, circular motion, circular paths. Look here, it is orbit. Earth is moving in a specific orbit, right? It is known as a circular motion. Rotatory motion, look at this one. It is able to rotating in a fixed point. The base is able to positioning at one position and the surface of the body is able to rotating in a fixed path. That is known as a rotatory motion. Next, vibratory motion, simple pendulum. So the body is able to moving to and fro, frontward and backward direction. It is able to moving front and backward direction. Next, rectilinear motion. If an object moves along a straight line, then it is called as a rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion. Simply, rectilinear motion means the object is able to travel in a straight path is known as rectilinear motion. Next, motion of a car in a straight line is an example. The example of rectilinear motion is moving a car along a straight road, straight path. Next, motion can be described into two quantities, that is scalar quantity and vector quantity. What is scalar quantity and what is vector quantity? Scalar quantity means which has magnitude, and vector quantity it is having magnitude as well as direction. In the scalar quantity we can see that only magnitude, that is numerical value, whether it is able to moving 60 kilometer or 20 kilometer, it is able to travel 10 meters, 100 meters. But in vector quantity we can see the magnitude and as well as the direction, in which direction the object is able to moving. That is the difference between scalar quantity and vector quantity. So next, coming to distance and displacement. Distance and displacement. Distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. So first you have to know what is scalar quantity and what is vector quantity. Scalar means which is having only magnitude. For example, the object is able traveling 100 meters, it is able to travel 200 meters, 60 kilometer per hour, simply numerical value. And vector quantity, it has a both magnitude and as well as the direction. We can see in the displacement, we can say that the car is able to moving with 100 meters as well as in a northeast direction, in a specific direction. You can say that each direction, west, north, south. Simply vector quantity is which is having the direction as well as the magnitude. But in scalar quantity there is no specific direction, but it has a magnitude. That is the difference between scalar and vector quantity. And distance and displacement. What is the difference? What is the major difference between distance and as well as displacement? Distance, what is given? It is a total length path covered by the scalar quantity. What is given? For example, a boy is early morning, the boy was started to his school and he went in this direction. Next he went one more turn and taken the next turn, and from straight he is able to moving. Look here, it is 5 meters, it is 5 meters, it is 5 meters, again it is 5, it is 5 meters. Distance, what again? The total length path covered by the, so total length, this is the total length we call as a distance. But coming to the displacement, what is given? Initial position and final position. Initial means starting position. Look here, the starting position. Boy started here and ended in the school. So it is ending position and it is starting position. Simply the shortest distance between the initial position and final position. So we can measure from the initial position. Shortest we can measure same like distance. For distance 5 meters and here it is 5 meters, it is 5. Simply the displacement is 15 meters. But what's the distance? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 meters. There is a major difference between distance and displacement. Simply the shortest length from point A to point B, it is known as a displacement. And the total length, the actual length covered by an object is known as distance. So to the distance, it is having proper direction. The boy is able from west to east direction, right? With it 15 meters. In the displacement, there is no proper, in the distance there is no proper direction, but it is having magnitude. Clear? It is difference between distance and displacement. Look at this example. Distance. The actual length of path travel is called as a distance, and it is a scalar quantity. Look here. Distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is vector quantity. In vector quantity we are having magnitude as well as direction, but in scalar quantity it shows only magnitude. It shows only magnitude. It measures in meters. We can measure by the meters. It is always having positive quantity. The numerical value is always positive. It may not in zero or negative values. So distance covered equal to circumference of a track is equal to 2 pi r. For example, boy started running in the running track. So he started here and start moving in a fixed circular path, right? What is distance? The total distance, you have to measure this full distance is known as distance. Displacement, for example, a boy started here and stop in this position. Displacement means The shortest point you can measure from here to here, initial position and final position. It is known as displacement, and the total actual length covered by the person is known as the distance. Next, coming to displacement is the length of the shortest path. Look here, the person is able to starting displacement. A person started from point A and ended at the point B. So the shortest path, but actually the person travel in this direction, right? So displacement, what we have to do, the formula for displacement, the shortest length from point A to point B, that is initial position to the final position. We can say that the shortest length, right? So this is known as a displacement, and it is a vector quantity. It measures in meters. It can be, the values may be in the form of positive, negative or zero. The values may be sometimes may be zero, it may be negative or positive. For example, zero, look at, imagine a boy started from point A and circled and ends at the point here itself only. So initial position, starting position and ending position are at same place. Then the displacement is zero. Here the displacement is 0. So the displacement may be in the form of positive, negative or 0. Next, coming to, he gave the difference between distance and displacement. Distance, the actual length of the path, covered by an object, actual length is known as distance, and displacement, shortest length, that is simply initial position to the final position. It is scalar quantity, it is vector quantity, it is having both magnitude as well as direction, but here we are having only magnitude, there is no direction. Next, it is always positive. The values in the distance, the values is always in the form of positive, but here we can see the positive values, negative values, or sometimes it may be in 0. Next, distance travel is always generating greater than the equal displacement. So when you're comparing distance and displacement, distance is always greater than the displacement, but here the displacement is lesser, equal or shorter than the distance. Here the distance is lesser, shorter or equal than the distance. What are you saying here? So a car was started from here and ended here. What is saying? Look here, distance is always greater than the displacement. So it is distance, and from point A to point B, it is displacement, right? Look here, distance is always greater than the displacement, right? And what is given? Displacement is lesser, equal than the distance. That is the difference between distance and displacement. Next, types of motion. Motion were classified into two categories, that is uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Uniform motion means the body is able to travel same distance with equal interval of time. Simply the object is able to traveling equal distance in equal interval of time. That is known as uniform motion. Non-uniform motion is quite opposite to the uniform motion. Simply the body travels unequal distance, the body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time. Look here, for example, car started from point A to point B. So imagine the car started from point A to point B, and with respect to the time, for 10 seconds, for starting 10 seconds, the car travel with 100 meters distance. In the next 10 seconds, that is 20 seconds, from here to here 10 seconds, right? Car travel 100 meters. In the next 10 seconds, that is 20 to 30 seconds, that is 10 second difference, right? 10 seconds and here to here 10 second difference, 100 meters. From here 10 seconds 100 meters, and next 10 seconds, from 10 to 20 seconds, that is 10 seconds 100 meters, next 10 seconds 100 meters. Simply here the car is able to traveling same distance, equal distance in with equal interval of time. The car equal distance with equal interval of time, then the body is said to be uniform motion. Non-uniform motion, quite opposite distance. The body covers the object covers unequal distance with equal interval of time. First, it travels 50 meters in 10 seconds. Next, it travels 75 meters in 10 seconds. It travels 100 meters in 10 seconds. So with respect to time, the distance was changing. Distance was changed. That is known as non-uniform motion. Simply uniform motion means the body travels same distance with equal interval of time. It is known as uniform motion. Body travels unequal distance with equal interval of time is known as non-uniform motion. Uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Next, look at the image. It is a graph given regarding the uniform motion. For uniform motion, the graph will be in a straight line. In the x-axis, we have to take the time. In the y-axis, we have to take the distance. What again? A body having equal distance in equal interval of time is known as uniform motion. Simply, body having equal distance. For example, 100 meters in 10 seconds. Next 10 seconds also the body is able to travel in 100 meters. That is known as equal distance in equal interval of time is said to be uniform motion. So the time graph. So when you are going to draw the time graph for the uniform speed, you have to take time in the x-axis. In the x-axis you have to take time. In y-axis you have to take the displacement. It is displacement. Distance is traveling 100 meters, 200, 300, 400. You can take 5 seconds, 10, 20, 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds. Right? In the uniform motion, there is a straight line. When it is in the graph, when there is a straight line, you have to simply say that it is a uniform motion. But in the non-uniform motion, the line will be in a curved path. In non-uniform motion, the line will be in the form of curved path. Clear? Next, a body having unequal distance in equal interval of time. A body having unequal distance in equal interval of time is known as non-uniform motion. Look here, unequal distance in equal interval of time. 100 meters, 70 meters, 50 meters. Same time interval, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. So with respect to time, the distance was different. Then we can say that it is non-uniform motion. In non-uniform motion, the graph will be curved path. Simply in uniform motion, this straight line. In x-axis, you have to take the time, and in y-axis, you have to take distance. Clear, everyone? So I think you got the clarity regarding the uniform and non-uniform, right? Next, coming to speed. What is mean by speed? While you're traveling in a bus or car, you can see that the bus is able to traveling 60 km per hour. A car is able to moving 100 km per hour. What is speed? How to calculate the speed? So simply speed is the distance traveled by the body in 1 second is called speed. Per 1 second, how much distance it has been covered is known as the speed. With respect to the time, speed is equal to distance traveled by time. So for specific distance regarding time, for 10 seconds, how much amount of distance was traveled is known as the speed. Simply, speed is equal to distance by time. Distance traveled by time. So simply we can measure the speed. Speed, that is V is equal to distance we can measure in distance by time. The total distance traveled by time. Next, uniform or constant speed. Uniform, constant, both are similar, same terminology. Uniform and constant. What is given? A body has uniform speed. It travels equal distance in equal interval of time. It is also called as constant speed. Simply constant speed at same distance, same interval of time. A car is able traveling same distance with the same interval of time. that is known as constant speed. So with changing to the time, the speed was not increasing, not decreasing. Speed అనేది పెరగడం లేదు, తగ్గడం లేదు. సింప్లీ స్పీడ్ అనేది కాన్స్టెంట్గా ఉంది. రెస్పెక్టెడ్ చేంజింగ్ టు ద టైమ్ టు టైమ్ it is able traveling same distance without changing the times. That is known as constant speed. Example, the two cars are moving in a straight line. The two cars are moving in a straight road with the same speed. It's the same speed, that is known as constant speed. Next, average speed. What is mean by average speed? Simply మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా ట్రాఫిక్లో ట్రావెల్ చేసినప్పుడు, కార్ డ్రైవ్ చేసినప్పుడు, యూ కాంట్ గో ఇన్ ద సేమ్ స్పీడ్, రైట్? డ్రైవ్ చేసినప్పుడు మీ కార్ స్పీడ్ అనేది 60 km/h అన్నది సేమ్ కాన్స్టెంట్గా ఏముండగా, ట్రాఫిక్ కానీ కౌస్ కానీ టర్నింగ్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు స్పీడ్ అనేది తగ్గిపోతుంది. అదే స్ట్రేట్ లైన్ వితౌట్ ట్రాఫిక్ స్పీడ్ ఇంక్రీజెస్. సింప్లీ స్పీడ్ ఈజ్ increasing, decreasing. So speed is not constant. So for that we are taking in non-uniform motion average speed. Coming to average speed. Average speed of the body is the total distance traveled by divided by the total time. Simply for that reason you have to take the total distance and total time taken. Then we can get the constant or average speed. Average speed is equal to total distance traveled to the total time taken. That is known as average speed. Simply average speed, you have to use this formula. For average speed, that is total distance by total time taken. Here it is taking entire one, total and total. Here is taking total distance and total time. That is from this we can get the average speed. Next, velocity. What is mean by velocity? The movement of an object with respect to the time. ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది ఒక సెకండ్కి ఎంత డిస్టెన్స్ ట్రావెల్ అయింది, దట్ ఈజ్ నోన్ యాజ్ వెలాసిటీ. సింప్లీ ఒక కార్ అనేది ఒక సెకండ్కి ఎంత డిస్టెన్స్ ట్రావెల్ అయిందో పర్ సెకండ్, దట్ ఈజ్ నోన్ యాజ్ వెలాసిటీ. వాట్ ఈస్ గివెన్? The distance covered by an object in 1 second in a particular direction is known as velocity. Per second, how much amount of distance it has been covered in a specific proper direction, it is known as velocity. In uniform motion, the velocity will be same. In non-uniform motion, velocity changes with respect to the time. యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్లో స్పీడ్ అనేది సేమ్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి వెలాసిటీ కూడా సేమ్ ఉంటుంది. అదే నాన్ యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్లో వెలాసిటీ అనేది చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. ఒక సెకండ్కి 10 meters ట్రావెల్ చేస్తే నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్కి 10 meters ట్రావెల్ చేయొచ్చు, 10 కన్నా ఎక్కువ చేయొచ్చు, తక్కువ చేయొచ్చు. దట్ ఈస్ నాన్ యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్, రైట్? ఇట్ ఈస్ a scalar quantity. Velocity is also scalar quantity and it can be, the values may be in the form of positive, negative or zero, and it can be measured in meter per second. What is given? Velocity. If you want to find the velocity, you have to see the total displacement by time. Next, uniform or constant velocity. A body has uniform velocity if it is traveling equal distance in specified direction in equal time interval. So equal distance in equal time interval, that is known as uniform or constant velocity. Of motion of an object with constant velocity is also called as uniform motion. Simply uniform motion or constant velocity, both are same. Next, average velocity. Simply when you given the average, you have to total distance traveled by total time taken. Average means total distance traveled by total time taken. Not given average velocity, initial velocity plus final velocity. You have to take a starting position and ending position. Initial means starting to the final means ending. So from starting to ending, that is known as average velocity. And initial is indicated with U and final is indicated with the V. That is it is V is equal to velocity by 2. So if you want to find the average velocity, that is average velocity V is equal to initial velocity initial plus final by 2. So here U means initial, V means final velocity. Clear? Next, coming to acceleration. So what is mean by acceleration? While you're riding a car, if you want to increase the speed, simply you will press the acceleration, right? You will increase the acceleration. So while you're pressing acceleration, then only the speed is increasing, right? If you want to decrease speed, you are able to remove the leg from leg from the acceleration and pressing the brake. Simply acceleration, the change of velocity is called acceleration. The change of speed per second, per 1 second, the car is able to traveling 100 meters. If I'm increasing acceleration per second, the acceleration was increased, the speed was increased from 100 meters to 110 seconds. Look here. Acceleration. So if you're pressing the acceleration, the velocity increases as simultaneously as the velocity increases, the speed also increases. Simply, the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Velocity అనేది చేంజ్ అయినప్పుడు దాన్ని యాక్సలరేషన్ అంటాం. వెలాసిటీ చేంజ్ కావాలంటే యాక్సలరేషన్ అనేది we have to increase more, right? Acceleration is a vector quantity, it is measured in meter per second. What is given? Acceleration is equal to change in velocity by time taken. Here acceleration is indicated by the A it is acceleration, V it is final velocity, U is initial velocity, right? T is time taken. Here T is time taken, V is final velocity, U is initial velocity, A is acceleration. Next, coming to uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration means the car is able to traveling 60 km per hour with 60 km. There is no increasing or decreasing its speed, is known as uniform acceleration. A body has uniform acceleration if it travels straight line and velocity increases by equal amount of interval. Look here. Uniform acceleration. What is given? Velocity. Its velocity increases by equal amount of time interval. For example, car is traveling a straight road, which is 10 kilometer road, which is straight road, right? The car started from here. For 10 seconds, the speed is 30 kilometer per hour. In next 10 seconds, the speed increases from 30 to 40 kilometer per hour. From 10 seconds, the speed was increased 10 kilometers, right? And next 10 seconds, the speed was changed from 40 to 50 kilometer. In the next 10 seconds, 50 to 60 kilometers. Look here. With respect to the equal interval of time, velocity increases equal amount. Equal amount means from here 10 kilometer was increases, from here 10 kilometer, from here 10 kilometer. Simply look here. Uniform acceleration, it travels in straight line and velocity increases equal amount. Velocity means speed increases equal amount, that is 10 10 10 with equal interval of time. That is known as the uniform acceleration. And before that, so we know that it is a speedometer. Look here everyone, it is a speedometer. From this we can see the speed of a car, and here it is the odometer. Odometer means it will show the distance, how much distance the car has been traveled. Odometer, the total distance traveled. Speedometer, what is the current present speed, it shows the speed. Next again the speedometer. Look here, it is a speedometer. It is speedometer. It shows the speed. Now the car is able between the 40 to 20, that is 30 km per hour. And here we are able to see in the odometer, which will shows the distance, the total distance traveled by the car. And here it is the accelerator, acceleration. It is acceleration, speedometer, and these are the fuels. Next, non-uniform acceleration. So simply it is quite opposite to the uniform acceleration. Means the car is able to, the velocity, what is given? In a non-uniform acceleration, velocity increases by unequal amount of time interval. So look here, car is able traveling in a distance straight road, that is take for 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. For 10 seconds it started from 0 to 20 kilometer per hour. Next, from 10 seconds the speed was increased only 5 kilometer per hour. It's changed 25. Next it increases 15, that is 15, that is 10. Take a 10, next 40. So with respect to the time, the speed velocity was difference. For 10 seconds, for first 10 seconds, the speed increased 5 km per hour. In the next seconds, that is speed increased from 10 km per hour. In the next 10 seconds, it is increased 5 km per hour. Simply with respect to the time, the velocity was difference. That is known as non-uniform acceleration. Majorly this non-uniform acceleration we can see in cities. మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా ట్రాఫిక్లో కార్ డ్రైవ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఆ కార్ అనేది స్పీడ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ నోన్ యాజ్ నాన్ యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్. వీ కెన్ సీ దట్ నాన్ యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్ వెన్ యూర్ డ్రైవింగ్ ద కార్ ఇన్ ట్రాఫిక్ ఏరియాస్. నెక్స్ట్ retardation. Retardation means when the velocity of an object decreases, the acceleration is negative and the negative acceleration is called retardation. For example, the car is moving 100 km per hour. The speed is 100 meters. So suddenly there is if you want to stop the car, the car speed is able to decreasing, right? Simply the decreasing speed we call as the acceleration, retardation. Simply what you given? The velocity of the body decreases. Simply the speed was decreasing from 100 km per hour to 90 km to 80 km, 70 km per hour. Simply the speed is decreasing gradually. That is known as retardation. Right? Acceleration is negative acceleration. Simply the acceleration was decreased. That is known as retardation. Simply the speed was decreasing is known as retardation. Next, circular motion. The object moves in a circular path. The object travels in a circular path is known as circular motion. When the object is traveling a circular path is known as circular motion. In the circular motion, the direction was changed with position to position. Direction changed with position to position. Look here. From point D, the direction is from east to west direction. From point D to A, the direction is from, so simply northeast, northwest and northeast. So south and northeast, everything. Simply the direction was changing with respect time to time. What is given? Circular motion, the motion of an object along the circular path. If an object moving in a circular path, it is known as circular motion. So what is given for the circular motion? If you want to calculate the speed, then you have to take the v is equal to 2 pi r by t. From this we can calculate the speed of the body in a circular motion. The direction of the motion of any point is given by the tangent. So the direction, when the body is at B position, the direction is in this position. So by the tangent we can see the direction of an object, right? So the body is at C position, the direction is a downward direction. When the body comes at D position, the direction of the body is left to the D direction. When the body is at A direction, the direction is forward to the A. Simply the direction in a circular motion, the direction changes with position to position. Next, uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion means a body is able to traveling equal distance in a circular path is known as uniform circular motion. For example, man is running A body moves in a circular path with uniform or constant speed is called uniform motion. Means the body was traveling around the circle with a constant speed. Constant speed is known as uniform motion, uniform circular motion. The body is in a circle, right? For that reason, you can say that uniform circular motion. Simply motion, we know circular path, that which is in the form of uniform circular motion. Next, examples of uniform circular motion. So Earth revolving around the orbit, so it is able to travel with the same speed with the equal interval of time. That is known as uniform circular motion. The path is which is in the form of elliptical, that is which is almost close to this circle. Next, he gives the difference between uniform linear and uniform circular. Linear means straight line. When the object travels in a straight line, we call as a linear. When the object travels around the circular path, we call as a circular motion. What is given? So linear means straight line. Progress along a straight line. So right, the object which travels in a straight line is known as linear. And uniform circular motion, when the object travels in a uniform in a circular path, right? Direction does not change. In a straight line, the direction is always in the same direction. The direction doesn't change. But here, the direction will changes with position to position. Direction changes continuously. The numerical value is always positive. It may be positive, negative, or zero. In the display, in a uniform circular motion, the values are may be in the form of positive, negative, or zero. Next, not an accelerated motion, it is an accelerated motion. Next, distance time graph. What is called distance time graph? In the previous time graph, we see in the speed into distance, right? Now we are seeing the distance time graph. Look here, in the x-axis, you have to take the time. In the y-axis, you have to take the distance. Look here, in the x-axis, what is given? The graph between distance and time is called as distance time graph. Simply, distance time graph means the graph between time and distance is called time graph. So in this graph, we are able to see in the time as well as distance graph. That is known as time and distance graph. Time is always taken in x-axis. So in the x-axis, you have to take the time, and in y-axis, you have to take the distance. That is 20 meter. Take example 20 kilometer, 40, 60, 80, 100 kilometers. Here, you can take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So here is given seconds, 10 seconds, and meters, 100 meters. Right? What is given? Distance is always taken the y-axis. The distance of a time graph of a body can be used to calculate the speed of the body. For look here, it is straight line, right? When it is a straight line, we can imagine it is a uniform speed. Uniform speed. Look here, for 10 seconds, it travel 20 meters. In the next, from 10 seconds, travel 40 meters. In the next 10 to 20, 30, that is 10 seconds. In next 10 seconds, it travel from very given, okay, 60 means from 40 to 60, that is difference is 20. Here difference 20, here difference 20, here difference 10 seconds, 10 seconds. So from with the time to time, the distance was traveling equal distance. Then we can say that uniform time graph. Here is given slope, x-axis is given 10 seconds, y-axis 20 meters. In the y-axis, each unit taken as a 20 meters. Each unit taken as a 20 meters. In x-axis is taken 1 unit is equal to 10 seconds. 1 unit equal to 10 seconds. Clear? Distance for 10 seconds 20 meters. For 20 seconds 40 meters. For 30 seconds 60 meters. For 40 seconds 80 meters. Here you have to observe same time difference. Same time difference 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. And distance also same changing. From 20 to 40, that is 20 difference, and 40 to 60, that is 20 difference, 60 to 80, 20, 80 to 100, 20 difference. Here difference is same. So that is uniform speed. Next, conditions for distance time graph. What are the conditions? Stationary object. Stationary means the body, an object doesn't change its place with respect to time. Simply the body is in the form of rest position. It is known as stationary object. For a stationary object, what's the time graph? How the time graph looks? Let us look here. For stationary object, what is given? The distance of time graph of a body is in the rest is a straight line. ఒక బాడీ అనేది అలా మూవ్ కాకపోతే విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టైం బార్ గ్రాఫ్ అనేది స్ట్రేట్ లైన్లో వస్తుంది. లుక్ హియర్, ఇన్ ద x axis we taken as seconds, in the y axis we taken as the distance. Look here, the body is in the rest. ఒక బాడీ రెస్ట్ పొజిషన్లో ఉంది. లుక్ హియర్, రెస్ట్ విత్ ఫర్ 5 సెకండ్స్లో ఆ బాడీ ఇక్కడ ఉంది. నెక్స్ట్ 5 సెకండ్స్ ఇన్ ద స్ట్రేట్ లైన్, నెక్స్ట్ 10 సెకండ్స్ 10 సెకండ్స్. సో టైం అనేది చేంజ్ అవుతుంది, బట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది చేంజ్ అవ్వడం లేదు. ఇక్కడ స్ట్రేట్ లైన్ ఉంది, రైట్? దెన్ ఫర్ ద స్టేషనరీ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ద బార్ గ్రాఫ్ ఈస్ in this position, means remain the rest, it is a form a straight line. For uniform speed is a graph time seconds. For 5 seconds 5 meters, in the next 10 seconds difference is 5 seconds, right? In the next 5 seconds it is able traveling 5 changing. Simply same interval of time, same distance was takes place. Look here, the time is 5 seconds and the distance is traveling changing, means 5. So uniform speed, distance all body with a uniform speed in a straight line making an angle with the x-axis. Next, non-uniform motion. In non-uniform motion, the line will be curved path. The line will be in curved path. Look here, the line is in the form of curved path. For 5 seconds, look here, for 0 to 5 seconds. Okay, from 0 to 10 seconds, it moved regarding the 7 meters. In next, from 7 to 10, it is able to moving, that is 14. And from here, next 15 seconds, it is able to moving 23. Simply with respect to time, the distance was changed.